So what happens is when I clean up around the house is I find ponytail holders randomly. I just put them in my hair so I don't lose them. And I'll have them all together and then take, I don't know. It makes sense in my head as I do it. I do the same things with earrings. As I find them, I just stick them in my ear. So I'll have like 1, 2, 3, 6 ponytail holders in my hair, whatever. Anyway, so creating content. I've decided that before I'll watch other people's content on YouTube, I should match that work with making my own content and doing the things that I need to do to get my own shit together. So I'm also got a fire going outside. I should keep an eye on that. I need to get a letter to Dutch so that he can get it to his attorney friend and we can do legaling stuff. But I don't have it anymore because I got rid of all that shit because it was stressing me out seeing the folders in my mailbox. I don't know. I thought it was over. I also burned my baby book this year, so a lot of things are gone forever. But it was digital, so there's no way it could possibly be like really gone forever. Okay, so I'm gonna read my book I started writing forever ago. Probably 10 years ago. Let me check out this fire real quick. Oh! Alright, it looks like it's still safely in the fire pit. Okay, so I'm gonna read it, and you're gonna listen, and I'm gonna know, and you're gonna learn. So I'm just gonna read it as it goes. Try not to commentate too much, and try not to be weird and fix it as I read it. What is that? You're in love with somebody else. Maybe I could offer some help. Get over them while getting under me. A little music would be okay. Internet's really slow. Alright. We need to make this bigger because I don't see like I used to. Here we go. Alright, so it's definitely jumbled and my thoughts kind of all over the place. Imagine that. 12 years. At this point, I've been out of the Army for like 6. How long have you been in the military? I'm often asked. Obviously, the year changes as time passes, but as of lately, I want to reply. Too damn long. It'll be 12 years in a few months. It'll be 12 years in just a few months. The follow-up question, so are you going to do 20? Lots of good benefits. I appreciate the naivety of the questions, usually asked by civilians. As I ponder my future involvement with the military, I would like to share what the last 12 years have been like and ask a question of my own. Would you stay? It's too early for this. I'm overtaken by the happiness equation at 6:30 in the morning. Variables are already doing leaps in my mind, quite possibly carried over from last night's still dormant dreams. It's not that I'm a math person. I'm better defined by DSM as a bipolar alcoholic with PTSD, and a last-ditch effort, like looking at directions for IKEA furniture only after it stands wobbly with pieces left over. My mind is attempting to solve the sadness within it using rudimentary math. Over-medicated and underappreciated by the same government at least my soul to, I struggle with being normal, disassociating myself by using logic. I've been searching the last decade for variables. Who, where, why, when was the last time I was happy? If I can put these pieces together, is it possible for me to recreate that time and then once again know peace? What made me write this story? My life before the military is not the story of a straight-A student dreaming of serving the country one day. I grew up in a college town an hour west of Indianapolis with no intention of ever going to college. I remember in third grade I wanted to be a writer, but that is the only plan I really ever had, or at least can remember. My parents were divorced before I was old enough to form any true memories of my dad or understand why he left. My sister is 6 years older than me. The difference in our ages, which usually would cause distance between siblings, was overshadowed by our parents' divorce, which brought us closer together. My mom remarried by the time I started kindergarten. Ron, my new stepdad, had 3 adult children and a good job. He had money to support his new family, but neither the time nor the patience. I grew up with my sister. At 10, my sister was 16, and she started smoking. So did I. By high school, I was drinking, cussing, and smoking more than most teachers. Considering myself too smart and too cool for school, I spent more than one-third of my freshman and sophomore years absent. What was I doing? John died, and I met Sandy. Krista moved back from Florida in '95. She was 20, I was 14 in 8th grade. My mom had kicked us out, and we were living together. Moved back in with my mom the summer between 9th and 10th grade. Moved to Vegas the spring of 10th grade. Mom and Krista hung out a lot. Ron sent weird shit in the mail blaming me for his divorce. My mom's family had begun to migrate to Las Vegas in the early 1970s. At 16, my mom divorced my stepdad after 9 years of unhappy marriage, and the end of my sophomore year, it was time for my mom, sister, and I to make the cross-country pilgrimage to Las Vegas. Growing up, I never had a difficult time making friends. I was never labeled this or that, and I always felt I was part of the in crowd, even if my idea of the in crowd was the same crowd skipping school and doing drugs. I would miss the people I had grown up with in Indiana, but I quickly made new friends in Las Vegas. Frustrated, trying to catch up in a new school, I quit going to high school a month into my junior year. I would get my GED at Job Corps in San Diego in the summer of 1999. My adolescence was far from typical, and I would not have changed anything from that time in my life. I met a lot of great people. I met a lot of bad people. I met a lot of good people who do bad things and so on. And because of all of it, I am a more whole person. I have made some bad decisions, but I became more independent and confident by having made those decisions. Happy, intelligent, friendly, funny, confident. I was able to accept those kinds of compliments, proudly knowing the person I reflected to the world was the person I felt I was. Still unsure of what I would do with my life, the options in my future at this point seemed limitless. My mom often tells me that before the military, I was admired and exciting to be around. People wanted to be where I was and doing what I was doing. I was fearless in my pursuits. At 17, I traveled around the Midwest from couch to couch, unafraid of the world with an amazing group of friends, experiencing everything I could about life. At 18, I left Las Vegas to enroll in Job Corps. I had never been to California. Landing alone in the San Diego airport, strangers became friends quickly, and even now the people I knew during these adventures still have a support system encouraging me to tell my story. After Job Corps, Scott Taylor, Walgreens, back to Indiana, Las Vegas, massage school, Adam and Summer, Tony died, Justin came home, Sergeant First Class B. I signed my initial Army contract for 3 years, 3 weeks after the towers fell. I was 22 living in Las Vegas and halfway through completing massage school. Unsure of what I was meant to be if I grew up and with a newfound patriotism, I enlisted to go to war. I left my life in Vegas of all-night dance clubs for basic training in Fort Jackson, South Carolina. In February 2002, the Army was to give me financial stability, but more than that, the Army was to give me a sense of belonging to something greater than myself, a role in a family 400,000 strong, a two-way agreement that I would be given an equal amount of loyalty and love for the mere cost of risking my life in a war I didn't really understand. I eagerly, perhaps too eagerly, and looking back now, naively, shipped out for my first duty station in August of 2002. Basic training, AIT, visited Tom, took the Greyhound. Back in Vegas for my 22nd birthday. Reception, I met Debo. I was assigned to an air ambulance unit as unit supply at Fort Benning, Georgia. Within the first month, I attended my first military funeral. A senior warrant officer had died after a long battle with cancer. What do you need, Daisy? Come here. Well, I must do Daisy things. It is time to do the Daisy things. Daisy, you want to do things? Tell me about it, Daisy. Daisy, what do you need? What? Do you want something? What do you need? What do you need, Daisy? You want to go outside? Yeah? You want to go outside? Okay.